Welcome to Eric and Mike's After Show.
And welcome to the After Show.
And look what we got on here. Here it comes.
Hi, good morning, Max.
Good morning. I have Jennifer here.
Hello,
Yeah.
Art. How are you this morning? Good.
I'm good. Hang on, though. I'm sorry. I got a bunch of them happening today.
No
Okay,
problem.
no worries, man.
Here's Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer, it's Eric and Mike here in Tampa, Florida. How are you this morning?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, we are fantastic. Listen, I just want to tell you what we're doing before we get underway here. We are not only doing this live in our podcast, but we're also going to take a part of this and then have it on our normal show. So we're kind of getting a 2-for-1 here, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Excellent. All right, so we'll get underway officially, and we'd like to welcome to the After Show the beautiful and charming Jennifer Beals. Good morning, Jennifer. It's great to have you here, and I got to tell you that before we started doing this interview, I mean, we've had the chance to interview major politicians and Academy Award winners and supermodels, and I have never seen my co-host go and bring up old trailers of the movie Flashdance and watch them like he was just doing, and he doesn't know that I was doing this.
I didn't know that he was going to go this
completely
route,
catching
Jennifer.
him off guard on this, but he's sitting there glued to his computer watching the old Flashdance trailers. So you still have an effect on this guy. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, she seemed real enthused about that. Yeah.
Really.
Jennifer, welcome to the show. Yes, I'm a huge fan. I just want to say that.
Yeah. So are you still stopped in restaurants, airports, the grocery store, and hey, Flashdance, do the dance?
You know what? It's really funny. It's mostly journalists that bring it up.
Really?
When people come up to stop me at the airport or on the street, it's usually now about Taken, because
Right.
Taken's on the air.
Oh,
Right.
sure.
Or the Coon or the L Word, or it's different projects, but journalists love Flashdance. So
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Jennifer. I am a big fan of the Flashdance, but the only reason I even wanted to bring it up, obviously you're here to talk about Taken airing Friday nights, but before we get there, I have to at least mention it has to be somewhat flattering that even today, over 30 years later, that people are still referencing it. Like just a few weeks ago, I think it was, Ryan Reynolds for the new Deathpool movie.
No, I loved it. He sent out a tweet with using a pose of the character from
Right.
the film.
Like that
Yeah,
has to
I
be
loved
so
it. It was-
flattering that people
yeah.
still love that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, it was very flattering.
Yeah,
and,
and-
there was also a piece in Style where they had used a model to revision the film, which was really interesting. That it's still in the consciousness.
Right.
It is very.
It's been redone or referenced in comedies, and in fact, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I actually, just so you know, you have a little lowly amateur comedian that's out there in Central Florida that does a Flashdance joke in his act. So I'm not kidding. Like it's still a big deal. But before we go,
I hope it gets. That's all I can say.
I'm sorry.
I said, I hope it gets a big laugh for you.
Oh, it does. It does. Believe me, when I start dancing around like Flashdance, 300 pounds, they love it. But the other movie that I have to mention, I've seen you in the L Word, fantastic. But my very favorite character that you did, is Angela from Four Rooms. Does anybody else ever bring that one up?
Yes, actually, they do. Yeah,
Ah.
and then they start listing all the words for cock.
It is one of the funniest scenes, and I wish that I could play that audio, but I'm afraid it's just not good
I don't
for
think
our.
probably somebody might, give you a hard time about it.
Yeah, like the bosses.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So let's talk about Taken. You're in your second season right now, but I've been following the show. It's based obviously off the movie, which was a fantastic trilogy. And now we get to see Brian Mills, back whenever he was learning this very special set of skills. And you're in your second season. How's it going for you?
It's going pretty well. it's going pretty well. It was fantastic to get a second season, and Clive Standen, who plays Brian Mills, is doing a fantastic job, and we have 2 new cast members who've been great addition to the cast, and I think it's going well.
The first season, I guess, ended with some, I guess, would you say a radical overhaul? I'm not sure, but you and Clive were the only ones that made it through. It seems like you've got a whole new cast. What has that been like for you?
It was really hard when we found out about the other cast members, because we were really like a family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we did everything together, and we had really created a team. So that was really hard. But having said that, it's not to take away from Jessica and Adam, our 2 new cast members who are fantastic, and they've been really, really great on the show. But it was really painful to lose those other cast members, and they've all gone on to go do really wonderful things. But it was a transition for sure.
I don't think the general public understands a lot of the times that they're working in their job and people get fired or quit and move on, and it's just kind of normal and you accept it and you move on. But when you're in the entertainment industry, you have to work so closely and intimately with your partners that they do go to that next level. So when they are cut, which is a business move typically, it is more of a personal attack, isn't it? It really hurts you deeper.
Well, it doesn't feel like an attack. It is part of the business. And, if you have a new showrunner coming in, then it's their prerogative to retool the show in the way that they want to see it, because they have to put in all the hours to make the show something that they, want to see or that they want to do. And so you have to give them that freedom to do that. Right? So it's an occupational hazard,
sure,
for sure, as an actor on television.
And Eric and I both come from performance backgrounds as well, so we also know that there's at least a small part on the inside of you goes, oh, thank God it wasn't me.
yeah, at least I have a job for another 13 weeks.
No, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way. I didn't.
Jennifer,
It's
okay to say that it's okay to say that it was, Jennifer, because nobody listens to this show anyway, so that's all right.
From the bottom of my heart.
So the new episode airs tonight on NBC. Jennifer Beals and Taken. What can you tell us about the upcoming episode?
Yeah, can you tip your hand on any good juicy stuff?
Well, normally Christina is in the office, and she's usually running things, and she's very rarely in the field. And this is an episode where she takes it upon herself to go into the field and tie up some loose ends from her past. And it gets really hairy because she doesn't tell anybody where she's going. And so she's trying to do it all on her own. Mm. And you get to see definitely that she has really rotten taste in men. Because you get to go back in time. You get to go see a little bit of her backstory.
Interesting.
Very nice.
It's called Taken. It's Friday nights, 9:00 on NBC. And Jennifer Beals, before we let you go, this is Eric, by the way. You and I are the same age, and if God forbid Taken if this is the last season and you look for something to do, might I suggest you sit down and author a couple of books, because you look fantastic. I don't know what your diet is or your workout or your beauty regime, but you need to patent it, because darling, you look just fantastic.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I've been swimming more. I swam over 1.5 miles last week. I was really proud of myself.
I'm not kidding.
Swimming, I love being in the water.
Your promotions person sent us the photos, and it's got your headshot from Taken, and then it's got your headshot right next to it is your headshot from Flashdance, and I'm telling you can't tell a difference.
Right.
Oh, it's such a bull-faced lie, but you're so nice.
Well, either way, you are beautiful, and we really appreciate you being on the show. Everybody check out Taken, Friday nights on NBC. Jennifer Beals, everybody. Thank you so much.
Continued success, darling.
Thank you. To you, too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, Jennifer Beals. Sweet lady.